So today I am going to be doing a get ready with me vlog because I know that this is something that has been kind of intriguing you guys because I've been doing it over on my other channel. And so yeah, I am actually currently not wearing the outfit that I want to be wearing because I thought it was Jupiter Thursday when I originally got dressed this morning, hence the reason why I'm wearing yellow. Then I realised it's actually Friday. So with that being said, I am going to change off camera because I was supposed to do this beforehand, but to I started to record it. But I really today wanted to talk about shadow work because this is something that I have been doing a lot myself, and this is something that I wanted to talk about with the collective because I wanted to first of all get your opinion on what is your opinion on shadow work, because I know that a lot of people try to skip over doing their shadow work. They just try to spend all of their time in the light, living in illumination, doing the light work, when actually it's within the shadow work that we find out more about ourselves. So we find out what it is that actually helps to fuel our light. We find out what it is that makes us who we are as a person. So looking into our childhood traumas and things like this, looking into the way that we've been treated, the way that we've been gaslit by others, helps us to be able to express ourselves authentically. This helps us to be able to live in our own true expression. So I will be back. But I was basically wanting to share some of my shadows, some of my fears with you guys, because this is something that at the moment a lot of people are not comfortable expressing their shadows because we have we have been made to feel as a collective that having a shadow side, having all of these pains, all of these, if you have a mental health problem or a physical health problem, we've been gaslit into believing that there is something wrong with us, that we have some kind of problem. But actually, back in back in the the old age, many times when people in the community would be sick, their special needs would be revered as talents, as things that other people. So for example, you are someone who is dyslexic. That might mean that you are not able to write a book. However, you may be better at climbing a tree than your fellow person. So in the olden times, or in a technologically advanced civilization, people would have revered different talents and different aspects of their personality as being their strong points. So yeah, what is your opinion on shadow work? Because that's my opinion on shadow work. I feel it is something that is vital for us all to ensure that we are able to live within the light. Now I'm going to address some of my shadows. So currently I'm going through quite a lot of pain, I'm going through quite a lot of confusion, and I'm going through quite a lot of inner torment, inner turmoil, because I am actually going through a time in my life where I have got to make quite a lot of big decisions. I've got to choose between my own inner light polarities and my own inner dark polarities, which is bringing me a little bit of confusion, and it's bringing me a little bit of distress, if I'm honest, at times to navigate. I don't know what my ring is. To navigate to make sure that I am navigating the most high vibrational pathway for myself. This is of course hard because I want to ensure that I am connecting with and reaching out to the right people, as well as making sure that I am keeping myself safe. But I am currently, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is that I am dealing with, but basically at the moment I've got a decision to make when it comes to, I know that I am going to be able to get towards the results that I desire. I just don't know which is the healthiest and the safest option for me to go towards that, because there are a lot of different things that are calling upon my energy, and I'm not entirely sure right now what is the healthiest and safest option to go down. So that means that I am having to use my own intuition to think wisely about what it is that I'm actually going to do. This is causing me a lot of confusion again because, so for example, I know that I could just blunder in. I could just blunder in and I could just go with brute force, because I know that I could do that. However, that's not the most peaceful of options. I know that I could network with people who are going to bring me results that I desire, but I don't really want to compromise myself like that, my own self-esteem and things like that. So I'm currently at a point where I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place, I suppose, because there are many different things within my life that are calling upon my energy. So, for example, I could go and I could start doing some acting lessons. This will help me because this will help me to get towards the career that I want to go towards. However, if I go towards doing these acting lessons, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the other things that I have got planned. So this is causing me a little bit of confusion and a little bit of chaos myself. So I'm not sure currently what I'm going to do moving forward. So it's important for me to just really ground myself. So that's one of the reasons why I was doing this shadow work today with you guys, because I wanted to talk about how, if you do feel like you don't have much of a purpose, how if you do feel like you are just drifting and you're directionless, you can get yourself into a little bit of trouble. You can get yourself into I can't find the makeup palette that I was going to use. Never mind. Anyway, you can get yourself into a situation that you would have rather avoided. So it is important to make sure that you are thinking about your end result that you wish to have, as well as, so when you are trying to manifest something, it's not just all about thinking about what it is that you would like to do, what it is that you would like to plan. It's all about thinking about, or where it is you'd like to be in like 5 years time, where it is that you want to put more of your energy, and where it is that you want to spend your energy, because there may be certain times in life where more people want to call upon your energy, and you don't want to spend time with people who have been causing you pain or chaos or whatever it is for you individually. And so when you start to call your energy back, you may find that you are feeling a little bit guilty as well. This is something that when you do your shadow work, you have to process, you have to go through, because when we do start to set healthy boundaries, when we look at our situation, we go, this isn't necessarily the healthiest option for myself. I'm going to block this person because they are tricking me, or they are telling me mistruth, or they are gaslighting me. So you block them and you put energetic boundaries within place. And then you find that this person then messages you or whatever, or they find a way to communicate with you, and they start to be really nasty to you, really abusive and really toxic, because they don't like the fact that you put these boundaries in place. This is when you've got to start to think about, well, why did I put these boundaries in place in the first place? If it was a matter of simply just needing some peace and time for yourself, maybe it's time to connect and communicate with that person. But if this person has seriously hurt you, seriously trampled on your boundaries, abused you, taken from you, tried to destroy your family members, maybe it's time that you start to call your energy back to yourself and you reassess this situation. Because if you are trying to break yourself down in order to make other people happy, you're only going to find that you're staying stuck in the same situation over and over and over again. So in order to reclaim your power, it's important and it is vital to make sure that you are standing up for yourself. And even if other people don't like that, then that's okay, because you didn't come here to make other people happy at the end of the day. You didn't come here to serve and protect other people. Yes, we do have a duty to serve and protect our community and to love our family, but if it comes to a point where your family members and your friends are trying to hurt you, and they're trying to, perhaps they're trying to kill you, because I know that a lot of people are trying to kill each other nowadays. So if they're trying to do that to you, then you need to get out of the situation. You need to look after yourself first and foremost. So I will not really go too much into that today, but if that's something that you are interested in, then I will make sure that I am telling you guys how to stay safe throughout things like that. And again, when it comes to doing your shadow work, there is no set time period that you need to say, hey, I didn't do a past life regression this morning. What does that mean? Well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means that you're not ready to access that level of your healing right now. And no one can try and push you towards doing anything that you're not happy with, because only you know when is the right time for your own healing transformation journey. So for example, someone else is trying to tell you to do meditation or do yoga or work out or whatever it is. You may not be ready to do that. I, for example, have told people in the past, it's a good time to start doing exercise, it's a good time to start working out. But then I realized that not everybody has the same abilities as everybody else. Some people have compromised abilities, and we have to look out for each other. So yes, it's not about trying to race each other to being the most healed person, or trying to overcome each other when it comes to this healing journey. It's actually not like that, not at all. Everyone's healing journey is unique and specific to them, so everyone is going to find that their lessons are for them and them only. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't share your experiences with other people. Storytelling and experience sharing is a really great way to bond with your community and your loved ones. But there comes a time when not everyone will be able to understand the things that you have been through. So, for example, I have been through kind of like military training, and not a lot of people understand what it is that I have been through. I've not necessarily been through military training. Well, I suppose I kind of have, because I've had to go through extreme. I'm not really going to talk too much about this, but yeah, I have had a lot of things happen within my life, which means that I am a very strong individual. Not physically, but mentally. And so what this means is, when it comes to when it comes to spiritual battles or arguments, I'm the type of person that would just rather have a cup of tea because of the things that I've been forced to go through. I'd rather just spend my life living in peace. I'm not actually someone who tries to start up any kind of arguments with people. I usually just avoid conflict. Which may make me a bit of a boring person or a weak person or whatever, but I value my own inner peace more than I care about dominating anyone else or anything like that. So, yeah, but that doesn't mean that when it comes to our shadow work, as I was saying, we all have our own timeline and our own healing to go on. So if you are someone who at the moment is wanting to fight and argue with people and engage yourself in arguments, then don't let me stop you, because I know that you'll do it anyway. But be safe out there, because just remember, what goes around comes around, and you'll get karma back. But yeah, when it comes to shadow work, at the moment, my biggest shadows and my biggest fears are that I'm not going to be able to find a solution to my problem in a fast enough amount of time, because there are many solutions that are trying to come up to help me with my path, with my plan, but I'm fighting with age and with time, and so I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a little bit desperate, because I worry that my life's work will be ruined, essentially, so to speak, if I cannot create a solution to my problem within the next couple of days. And so this has been meaning that I have been acting rather unpredictably and acting out of character to myself, because I've been scared, if I'm honest. I've been very scared, I've been very frightened, and my fears have been driving my life a lot more than I care to admit most days, because my pride and my ego get in the way, which means that I'm unable to always express myself authentically. But when it comes to doing shadow work, we have to express ourselves. Because, yes, there is an element of being able to telepathically communicate with other people. But unless you are expressing yourself, and Gemini season's really particularly a crucial time to make sure that we are expressing ourselves authentically. Anyway, as I was saying, if we don't express ourselves, how are other people supposed to actually know what it is that we are trying to communicate with them? We can't expect people to pick up on telepathic hints and cues. We have to communicate physically. Otherwise, communication completely breaks down and we lose our ability to mate, to reproduce, to eat, to do anything really, because communication is at the forefront of us being able to communicate with each other. Of course, we can just communicate with our bodies, but that is very uncomfortable. If you want to go back to the first dimension, to where people are just living life like that, then that's something that you can choose to go into yourself with your own evolutionary process. But I'm aware that many people are not wanting to stay stuck within the first dimension. They are wanting to ascend themselves. They are wanting to experience personal growth, and they are wanting to experience the growth of their family and their collective. So because of this, it's going to be so important and vital for us all to make sure that we are doing our shadow work, so that we can process so we can process all of the light when it does come towards us. Your fears, your worries, your pain, and darkness are actually what help you to live a more freeing and lighter life. So don't just spend your whole time trying to live within the light, trying to be a light for other people, because you can do that, but it gets you burnt out and it gets you to a position in life where you are being trampled on. So for example, I was giving out all of my light to everybody. I was trying to help every single person in the world, and it got me to the point where everybody started to take from me. They started to ravish my entirety. So everything that was mine was taken from me, including from governing bodies and things like this. People who were not supposed to be taking from me, people who were supposed to be public servants, people who were supposed to be uplifting and helping the community, were actually trying to take from me to I believe try and kill me. I'm not 100% sure if they were, but and I've had a lot of people try to call me paranoid because of this. However, my tick is working just fine. No, my tick is my heart. Anyway, I'm perfectly sane and I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fully conscious. However, I don't like it when people are trying to bully me or frame me for things that are not true. So for example, when you tell me to go to a mother and baby unit and tell me that I will be fine, you tell me that all of my bills will be sorted out, and you trick me, you tell me that in a public court, in a court of law, you tell me that I will not have any bill problems and any money problems when I leave, and then I leave and I get told that I'm going to be evicted because I'm in rent arrears and because I have a spare bedroom because you took my child from me. when I didn't even have to go to court alone. I should have listened to my family members who were telling me not to leave my child because it wasn't legal. It wasn't actually legal. You broke the law because I never signed her away. I never sent her away. It never got to the point where there was any kind of contested hearing because I was publicly gagged. I'm not disclosing any information about the case, so this is not illegal. All I am saying is that is what happened. I'm not disclosing any names, not even my own name. This is Holistic Healing by Tiamat. So, when you done that to me, you essentially crashed your own system because eventually I was going to talk out about it, which is my shadow side, that the work that I've got to process through now is how I'm going to release this in a way that is not going to bring about chaos on the streets. Because when I first started speaking about these things, everybody just started fighting each other and trying to take each other's children and just going a little bit mad. So I need to find a way to release these teachings and a way to release my book that is going to not frighten and scare people and not cause mass hysteria and panic, because even myself, I've been a little bit wound up by it and I've been like, oh my gosh, what's happening? So yes, basically, the hell is going on? When it comes to doing our shadow work, we must find the appropriate places, the appropriate channels to express ourselves, because otherwise we will find that we are doing things like this, ranting on the middle of our YouTube channel. So journaling is a really good way to express yourself. You may find that if you just really want to like blog and get things off your chest, a really good way to do that is to talk on I don't know, this is basically what I'm doing, but to talk on your channels and your platforms, even if no one does listen to you, you're expressing yourself, you're getting it out there, and you're not keeping it trapped inside anymore, which is going to make you feel a lot better on the inside, because you're going to feel like you are able to trust your own self. Even if you're not necessarily even able to trust other people, you'll find that you're able to trust yourself because you're able to document the things that you have been through. So if other people were to say to you, you're just completely crazy, you done this, you done that, you done this, you done that, you can look back on your life and say, actually, I've got it all on recording and I can see that I didn't do any of this. All of the things that you're trying to accuse me of are not true. All of the things that you are trying to say was me in my life, it's not true. So sorry, but you can try that one again. And that's going to help you. Going back to the topic of conversation that I was talking about, I've found that it's been virtually impossible for me to get out of this situation, because every time I've tried to get out of this situation, the same people that I believe are responsible for me being in this situation keep coming up to try and stop me from progressing on work or anything again. So give me one moment. So that's one of the shadows that I'm dealing with, is the fact that I'm not necessarily assertive enough to say to the police or to say to the council, stop bullying me, stop it, leave me alone, stop telling me one thing and then doing another thing, stop telling me that you're going to sort out my money problems, stop telling me that I won't have any money problems if I follow you, and then you put me into the problems. Because sometimes I have a little bit of troubles talking with people like that, and that means that I am thinking that moving forward, that I get very anxious when telling other people what to do because I think, are other people going to being bossy? Are other people gonna call me like weird? Or are other people gonna say that I am not a good person because of the fact that I have to boss other people around in order to get my opinions heard? And so that causes me quite a lot of times to um, to go into my shell and to, what's the word, to introvert myself. And this isn't good, of course. I know this isn't good because how am I ever supposed to get anything done if I'm just introverting myself? But sometimes things just come up and they seem a little bit too overwhelming. So, for example, if I've got to speak with someone on the phone and they're saying, "Well, why are you in money problems?" I worry that if I tell them the real reason why, they will not believe me because, of course, a lot of people get themselves into money troubles and they don't try to get themselves out of them. They don't do anything to try and work their way out of them, and they basically, what I'm saying is I'm worried that they'll think that I'm a bum, and so in order to just avoid that, I don't try and make any excuses. I don't try to say like what actually happened because I worry that people will just think that that is an excuse. Whereas if I had done my shadow work and I had, before I made the phone call, I'd sat down and I'd gone, oh, um, this is what my needs are, this is what has happened to me, this is the truth, this is the fact of the matter, and this is what I need help with, I would have been able to get through that whole situation a lot better. So I do feel like, as a collective, we do need to do more shadow work because, so when I went to court this time in October, I was told that I'm not trustworthy because I often plan a response to what people are going to say to me and things like that, which actually isn't true. I'm someone who is able to channel life force prana energy, so I'm able to just channel things off the top of my head that other people wouldn't be able to channel because of my star sign. I'm very ascended, so I'm not going to my star chart. I'm not going to go into all of that, but basically I'm connected to the stars and I am a star. So I am a star seed and I'm a star. So the star card represents the ability to sustain fame and to also sustain a lot of high vibrational connections with other people at one time, and that is what my abilities are. I am able to have friendships with many, many different people from many different ages and backgrounds. This has been actually my life ever since I was a child. When I was a very small child, I used to help my elderly neighbours get their shopping and things like this. This is just who I am as a person. I'm a helper, I'm a healer, I'm a lover, I'm a giver. I give more than I take, although I do take a little bit as well in order to survive. However, I am definitely just someone who loves to give love and healing back to other people. So that's one thing that you have to watch out for. If you send love my way, you will get it back your way. But if you do send me disrespect and negativity, you will also get that back your way as well. So be careful. Anyway, basically, when it comes to my shadow work, the things that I need to do, I need to just say to these people that are messing around with my energy, you're not going to kill anybody. You're not going to hurt anybody because look at me and look at this whole situation that you're trying to get yourself into. I'm not trying to be rude, but if you want to try and send people to hurt or kill me, you're going to have to deal with the whole world in an outcry, in chaos, in torment, because that's I believe one of the reasons why Jesus and men were primarily sacrificed rather than women, because if you try to sacrifice a woman, everyone goes crazy about it because people don't like that. People really don't. don't like that. I don't actually know 100% why that is, but I believe that it's something to do with the rebirth of life and things like that, because if you try to stop women from giving birth and trying to stop women from having life and things like that, the karma that comes upon you is much worse than what would have happened if you were to have just left it. So yeah. And yeah, that's that basically. But I do think that when it comes to, I need my head covering. Yeah, but when it comes to our own self-sufficiency and our own healing, we must do shadow work in order to find out who we are as people, and in order to prepare ourselves for all eventualities. So as I mentioned earlier, if we were, whoa, for example, if you were to plan out what it is that you need help or assistance with before you ask people for the help and assistance, you will find that you are getting your help and assistance a lot quicker, because rather than having to talk with the people about, oh, this is what I need the help and assistance with, this is how I'm going to get this help and assistance, you will find that you're able to just go, okay, now I've got the so okay, rather than talking with the person when you are meeting with them or on the phone or whatever about the help and assistance that you need, you will already have written down in front of you the things that you need your help and assistance with, so you'll be able to just say, hey, I need help with all of these things, rather than having to think and create things off of the top of your head. And so this is going to be really helpful for you. And so for example, if you are someone who is stuck in in an abusive relationship, this is the first thing that I can think of on the top of my head. But if you are someone who is stuck in an abusive relationship and you are wanting to get out of this relationship, then it's going to be really important for you to make sure that you are thinking about what it means for you, what it means for your whole family, what it means for your children, what it means for everyone around you, because this is when you have decided to consciously couple with someone, you have decided to bring together, you have decided to merge your families together. And consciously uncoupling requires that same level of dedication, that same level of planning as it took for you to come together. So I hope that I am making sense. But there are going to be arrangements and decisions that are needing to be made to make sure that you are both happy with the decisions that you are making to separate from each other, if that's something that you're going through right now. And if it's not something that you're going through, then just take it however it resonates. But yeah, this is all that I wanted to say today. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. One love. Mwah. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.